All right. So, let me. Oh, it's on auto. That's perfect. We'll check the stream on the phone. All right, let me see how this sounds. That was a little low at first. That better. All right, let me see how this sounds. That was a little low at first. All right, we should be Gucci. I'll just you know what? Let me get this with the mic and then. Oh, that's why. It was using the wrong mic. This should be better. This should be a lot better. Okay, let me check it out. That's why. Using the wrong mic. This should be better. This should be a lot better. Okay, let me check it out. That's why. Okay. All right, so lock your brothers had to make sure everything was Gucci. All right, so lock your brothers. Okay. All right, first and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, there's great millstone. And shout out to your brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. Um, it's a couple topics I want to touch on. You know, as you see in the title, obviously, right? Tithes, you know, dinosaurs slash Megalodon. You know, they lump all these things together, and the point of that is, you know, really stick to the scriptures, man. The answers are in the scriptures. I didn't set. I didn't really set the tabs up. I had to hop into, you know, sometimes the spirit hits you. You got to get it going so uh we don't fall prey to the flesh. What's the other one? Oh no. It should have popped up. Shit, it's the only one I use. It's this one, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with this. This Deuteronomy 29:29. It's like why I say it like that? Deuteronomy 29:29. The secret things belonging to the Lord our power, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. Right? So any wisdom that is revealed on the earth are like true wisdom. You know, like it says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. All right, but true wisdom can be found within this word, man. All right, this word is what wisdom, you know, this is where it lies at. All right, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Where's the fear of the Lord at? Right here in the scriptures. All right, so true science. All right, and that's what's revealed because what's not revealed, we just don't know. But we know even let's use medicine. That's in the scriptures. All right, it talks about Moses throwing down the sweet wood to make that water drinkable. To take still water and make it drinkable, man, that takes science, that takes understanding. That's in the scriptures, man. All right. This is Job 32:8. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. So the Most High controls understanding. And what's more importantly is the fact that we're to speak truth. All right? So we got to stick to what the scriptures say. All right? We got to stick to what the scriptures say. Now, of course, it says there's a man that slippeth in his speech. We really got to bridle our tongue. What we know, we know. What we don't know, we don't know. Plain and simple. Yeah. Is this the same chapter? What? What do you mean it's not in the Bible? You know what? Sirach 5. Okay. Con. So, I'm going to play this clip, then hit these precepts.
Megalodon. How did it go extinct? There's a whole theory that it didn't go extinct, okay?
Didn't the Megalodon coexist with basically the white shark? The current white shark?
It did.
It must have lost like its main food source or something.
So there are several theories. The first one, sea level drop. And new land was exposed. That may have cut off currents, which made for more bioavailable nutrients. And so something to do with the shark's morphology, it needed all of these currents.
The largest predators are going to be affected the most. So sea level drop. New land blocks the currents. The smallest shit can't eat.
Yep.
The medium-sized stuff can't eat. The Megalodon can't eat, boy.
Saltier ocean. So during the Ice Age, when everything froze over, as you know, salt water freezes a much lower freezing point. So the only water that froze during the Ice Age was the fresh water.
Correct.
So when the fresh water freezes and the salt water doesn't, there's no mixing, which means the ocean gets saltier. Megalodon. How did it go extinct?
And that was the point. It's like, bro, get this black copal on. This charcoal. If any of your Iowa brothers tune in, man, y'all see this. I need another order to black copal from the spot. Baba Kusha. In case I forget to hit y'all up about it, if y'all watching. But as you see, Esau come with a bunch of theories and flat out lies, man, because they'll tell you some shit is facts. They tell you that so-called dinosaurs, quote, air quotes, quote unquote dinosaurs, was extinct from a damn meteor, right? And there's a lot of people that's prescribed to that theory, and they teach this fact. Then you got those talking about some fucking ice age, like even this guy just mentioned it. If there was an ice age, how the fuck did we survive? How did we make it? Okay? How did these other land creatures make it? If everything froze over and these so-called dinosaurs died out, how the fuck did we make it? That's madness, man. That's fucking madness. This is Psalms 58. You know what? So we can see chat. Why is the spirit? Iowa definitely is tuned in. This is us. Yep. Hey, yeah, this is Spirit. GMS Feed the Flock. I got Ciroc 3 pulled up. We're going to touch on that. This Psalms 58, and I get straight to the point 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And we got to understand who's in control of the earth right now. Job 9:24, the wicked. He's a liar, man. All right? That's his job, to deceive the nations. And there's no limitation on how much deceit he wants to push out. He wants to just completely lie. It's in his DNA. He can't change himself, man. So they come with all this bullshit that's just contrary to the Lord. Because at the end of the day, this whole dinosaur thing, Megalodon thing, it's really simple. All right? On one level, because the scriptures tell us, and we're going to touch on some of the scriptures, man. All right? And anything else that's in between a certain kind, or a species, as they like to say, or breed. And you have wolves, but dogs come from wolves. Foxes come from wolves. So Noah didn't have to go get every type of dog, every type of wolf, every type of fox. Lord knows, he just had to get the kind, that species. And the Lord did this thing. Now, to what extent of each kind it had to go, Lord knows. He didn't go have to get every single type, every single breed, I should say. All right? And look, fast forward to now, we got the variations here on Earth. Because that's another thing. I've heard a brother say it too, but it's I believe it's a Christian thing. Dinosaurs died off in the flood. Then that mean the account of Genesis is incorrect. Because it doesn't mention that. It said he wouldn't got of each kind. All right? So it's plain, man. Let's not be like Esau. We can't, just push out whatever comes to mind. That's one thing, to ponder upon some things or have an idea and speak on it, but make sure it's expressed. It's not doctrine. It's just what I think we'll find out in the kingdom, because at the end of the day, there's a lot that's going to be revealed to us, man. All right? Because of this. 1 Corinthians 13:12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as I am known. So right now we have the pieces of the puzzle that we need. And we have way more knowledge than the top scientists on this planet, man. We can combat them with these scriptures. We don't have to stray from the scriptures to be deep. The scriptures is deep. All right? It says in Job, wisdom is double to that which is, man. So there's a lot that's not revealed. Man simply doesn't know. All right? And there's a lot that is revealed. And guess what? We have it right here in the palms of our hands. And Einstein had to do all this research to go to and shit to figure out E equals MC squared. That's in the first chapter of Genesis. That's in Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter. What is, I believe it's Wisdom of Solomon 11 or 12. The Lord incorruptible spirit going through all things. Wisdom of Solomon 7 talks about that light of wisdom, which is energy. We know a spirit is fire, which is energy. Genesis 1 tells us, let there be light. That's the activation of the elements. That's already in the scriptures. Okay? That's already in the scriptures, man. So that which is revealed, hey, we really have it. And what ain't revealed yet, we'll soon get it, man. We got plenty. Which brings us to Ciroc. GMS Feed the Flock. But him, it wouldn't be alive during the time of Job then. And there's a lot of the earth that ain't been... Hey, look, Esau's a fucking liar. He's a devil, man. There's a lot of the earth that has not been explored. All right? There's a lot that has not been explored, man. Oh, this is perfect. And you grab the... is this the same section where it says, all wisdom cannot be in man because he's not mortal? Because he's not immortal? Sirach, I don't know if this is Mathalia or not, but GMS feed the flock. Iowa took off his account. Sirach 42:15. I will now remember the works of the Lord and declare the things that I have seen, and the words of the Lord are his works. The sun that giveth light looketh upon all things, and the work thereof is full of the glory of the Lord. The Lord hath not given power to the saints to declare all his marvelous works, which the Almighty Lord firmly settled, that whatsoever is might be established for his glory. So we don't know everything. If the saints don't know, how in the fuck is Esau gonna know it, man? And we know that this man is a devil. Devil means deceiver. He's a liar, man. The brother posted the Sirach 17:30. So, like y'all know the channel by name, Jim at Chicago Airs of Promise. Damn, that's one of the brothers though. Sirach 17:30. For all things cannot be in men, because the Son of Man is not immortal. See, but Esau has a God complex, so he has to give an answer for everything. He's proud. To not have an answer will show he's not God. He doesn't know. But that's not the spirit we're to be in, man. We speak what we know. All right? And what we don't know, we simply don't know. Hey, this is Sirach 3. And verse 19. Okay, Shalom, Rapaya. Shalom to all, everybody tuning in. Shalom, Mathai. This is Sirach 3. And 19. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. And see, Esau isn't meek, man. He's proud. All right? He doesn't feel he needs help. And his mind, he is God. He has the answers. And at this point, you tell it lasts so long, you start to believe it. So now, what he taught is the norm. Which is prophecy, Daniel 7:25. He speak great swelling words against the Most High. So everything he says is just to be contrary to the Lord. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is I'm gonna just keep reading. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. So this is our focus, man. All right, what's right before us? This book. There's a lot. Hey, look. No matter how long we've been in these things, there's another layer to be uncovered in the scriptures. Another point behind it, another level of understanding, man. Wisdom is double to that which is. So all we need is the book right here. And we filter everything through this book. We must. There's too many lies out there. Prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. Well, how do we prove it? If it lines up with the scriptures, then it's true. Let God be true and every man a liar. Simple. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. The Lord ain't revealed it. It ain't meant to be revealed right now. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand. So and I'm only saying just because it's one book, all right? So I want to make sure it's no misunderstanding. I'm not lowering it. But to just have this one book, this Bible, we have more things revealed unto us than any man on earth understands. All right? For many are just knowing to call upon Yahweh, the actual name, and the name Yahweh Shai puts us light years ahead of normal man. We read the Job, he gives understanding. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. I'll keep going. And an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. Without eyes thou shalt want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not. If we not certain on it, we gotta bridle our tongues, man. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last. That was a point on that. That was a point on that. This is Rock 5. And 9. We know not with every wind, and go not into every way. For so doth the sinner that had the double tongue. They sat on that couch and gave. First off, the niggas say there's also a theory that they didn't go extinct. They never even touch on that. They just let that one go. And then start going to the saltwater level, drop or increase, whatever the fuck he said. The biomes changed, all this madness, man. Well, there's no proof of these things. That's what a sinner Salaki, for so doth the sinner that had the double tongue. He went with every wind. It could be, it's this, it's that, it's the nigga. Just say you don't know. Be steadfast in understanding, and let thy word be the same. So we speak what we know, what we actually understand. Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give answer. Ponder upon it, think upon it, prove it, then give the answer. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall. Back to that Romans 3. It said we'll be justified in our sayings. But how, man? By sticking to what the Lord says, man. Being them oracles. 1 Peter 4:11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which the Most High giveth, that the Most High in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shamashiach. So that goes back to what the Sirach said, man. The brother Matthias possibly read it, but I want to touch on the point of it. Yeah, the 42:15 in Ecclesiasticus. I will now remember the works of the Lord and declare the things that I have seen. And the words of the Lord are his works. So his works are written in the scriptures, man. The sun that giveth light looketh upon all things, and the work thereof is full of the glory of the Lord. So we speak on what the scriptures say. All right, it declare the wisdom of the scriptures, and that's to give glory to the Lord. We understand that the light off the moon is not reflecting from the sunlight. We understand that the moon is a lesser light because the scriptures say so. We understand the moon phases is perfect. The Lord sets the Sabbaths up by it. From new moon, where you see no light, you see no visible light. The moon is there in the sky. You can technically still see it, but the light is invisible. That's what they call it, you know. There's a whole spectrum of light. And Esau science proves it. And we know that to be true because the scriptures say so. It goes from new moon, 7 days later, half moon, another 7, full moon, then it decreases because it reaches perfection. It's getting ready to go to a new month, back to half, back down to new each week. That's the glory of the Lord. That's in the scriptures. We understand that. And then we can see Esau science, and then just looking and observing can see, oh, this is real. The Lord said it. Of course it's real. But we see it. That further proves the scriptures. This is the Lord's glory, man. We got to stick to what's written. All right? So we got to speak as the oracles of the Most High. A classic, Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And that's plain. All right? We got to speak what the scriptures say. Otherwise, there's no light in you, man. All right? So to say that this big, huge shark is non-existent because of some other shit is crazy. And that's the same thing with dinosaurs. Now, I was on my phone. Which phone was it? Let's see. I had to Google on a few different things. I want to pull these things up because it was really in my spirit. This is like a week or two I've been wanting to do this. Um, but it had to be edified through the spirit, and it's all through the spirit. And this dinosaur thing. Let's go to Google. What did I first type? I'll pull up a couple tabs probably. Esau got an answer for everything. And then you got Christian Edomites that'll still say the flood. Noah missed some animals during the flood, man. Or that's what you're saying? But let's remember, the Lord sent these creatures to the ark. Noah didn't scour the earth to go find these creatures, man. So, let me look at this. Salakia. Well, Lord knows how all the animals was gathered. Whether the Lord sent, because I thought it's a scripture that specified, but I'm not seeing it. Either way, we know that the Lord didn't make a mistake. The Lord used Noah. Whether Noah gathered them because they was in the garden, things were there, or if the Lord had them come to the ark, we know no mistake was made. Go back to Google because that was something else I looked up. I want to get these lined up. What was the other one? Yes, that's what I typed there. Biggest lion now. Salakia, bear with me, brothers. Okay. So let's deal with this dinosaur thing. Why is that? Where is it? Damn, did Esau get rid of it that fast? Homework study, that was the site. And it was towards the top of the list when I first searched. Here we go. Man, my finna make no account. You just let me look at it on the phone. I may have to just read this one from the phone. Esau was hating. In fact, this is good enough right here. So, second Esdras. That's what I have to pull up. Second Esdras. Let me find the exact verse. Second Esdras 5. All right, this is Second Esdras. Okay, they gotta put like that. Chapter 5. And verse 51. Second Esdras 5:51. He answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Said to her, wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? And she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age when the womb faileth are otherwise. Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. So Ezra was smaller than his forefathers. Fast forward now to what, about 2,500 years later? We're way less of stature, man. And so are they that come after you, less than ye. As the creatures would now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth, then said I, Lord, I beseech thee, if I have found favor in thy sight, show thy servant, by whom thy visitest thy creature. So everything has lost its stature. All right? Remember, there were giants in the earth. Okay? And Esau knows this. That's why I pulled this up. The largest human skeleton ever found was 25.5 feet long. Okay? And then they like to say, which is crazy, because this information like this exists, right? And Esau, of course, the father lies, goes and say, well, actually, we believe that was the skeleton of what did it say? One of Hannibal's elephants. How do you mistake a human skeleton for an elephant? Okay? But that's the new fact check shit, right? Because we have an article right here from July 10th, 1883. The Graveyard of the Giants. I gotta remember to cancel the subscription too. They're gonna charge my ass again. So, how do I zoom in on this? Will it work? Oh yeah, that's clear. This is the New York Times, Tuesday, July 10th, 1883. The Graveyard of the Giants. From the Mandan Dakota Pioneer. 2 miles from Mandan, on the bluffs near the junction of the Hart and Missouri rivers, is an old cemetery fully 100 acres in extent, filled with bones of a giant race. This vast city of the dead. Hold on. Genesis 6:4. There were giants in the earth in those days. So there were literal giants in the earth. And also after that. So we already had tall people in the earth. All right. When the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, which is talking about the sons of God are not angels. All right. Technically, But let's not go too deep. The sons of God are talking about the seed of Adam. Luke the 3rd chapter. Go through the lineage, it goes back to Adam and says, which is the son of God. That's the lineage of the sons of God. All right, which is carried on through Noah, down to Shem, all right, down to Abraham, down to Isaac, down to Jacob. Exodus 4. All right, we are the sons of God. So it's talking about that line. And what do? We lay with regular men. And they bear children to them. The same became mighty men, which are of old men of renown. It's talking about a different type of giants. It's talking about famous men, mighty men. So we had real giants in the earth, but we also, after we laid with regular humans, you know, mighty men were born. All right, what they call larger than life. There were actual tall people on earth as well. Numbers 13:33, and there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So there were giants, man. That's really the point on that. That's good enough. So let's get back to this article. And they found the skeletons, man. 25 feet long, man. That's a tall person, man. And who knows what generation that person belonged to. This vast city, we're right here. This vast city of the dead lies just east of the Fort Lincoln Road. The ground has the appearance of having been filled with trenches, piled full of dead bodies, both man and beast, and covered with several feet of earth, in many places, mounds from 8 to 10 feet high, and some of them 100 feet or more in length, and have been filled with bones and broken pottery, vases and various bright colored flints and agates. The pottery is of a dark material, beautifully decorated, delicate in finish, and as light as wood, showing the work of a people skilled in the arts and possessed of a high state of civilization. This has evidently been a grand battlefield where thousands of men and horses have fallen. Nothing like a systematic or intelligent exploration has been made, as only little holes 2 or 3 feet in depth have been dug in some of the mounds of many of the bones of man and beast, and beautiful specimens of broken pottery and other curiosities have been found in these feeble efforts at excavation. And this is not even an article that I pulled up at first. Hold on, this is a good one too. So this is the graveyard of the giants. What is the first one I pulled up on the phone? Yes, the other one was from February 11. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it, Lord, I'm gonna get it up here too. Can I not sign in now? What the heck? Okay, giant skeletons found. That's the search. This is the one. This is the one right here. That was perfect too, though. So we had one from the 1800s, one from the 1900s. Check this one out. Archaeologists sent expeditions to explore graveyards in New Mexico where bodies were unearthed. Yeah. Los Angeles, California, February 10th. Owing to the discovery of the remains of a race of giants in Guadalupe, antiquarians and archaeologists are preparing an expedition further to explore that region. This determination is based on the excitement that exists among the people of a scope of country near Mesa Rico, about 200 miles southeast of Las Vegas, where an old burial ground has been discovered that has yielded skeletons of enormous size. Luciana Quintana, on whose ranch the ancient burial plot is located, discovered two stones that bore curious inscriptions. And beneath these were found in shallow excavations the bones of a frame that could not have been less than 12 feet in length. The men who opened the grave say the forearm was 4 feet long, and that in the well-preserved jaw, the lower teeth. So there's no way they can try to put this off as some other creature. A well-preserved jaw. The lower teeth range from the size of a hickory nut to that of the largest walnut in size. The chest of the being is reported as having a circumference of 7 feet. Quintana, who has uncovered many other burial places, so this is somebody familiar with skeletons, man. They didn't mistake animal bones for a damn human. Expresses the opinion that perhaps thousands of skeletons of a race of giants long extinct will be found. This supposition is based on the traditions handed down from the early Spanish invasion. They have detailed knowledge of the existence of a race of giants that inhabited the plains of what now is eastern New Mexico. So this was known. The information was passed down. They found the actual skeletons. And on top of that, the most important part is in the scriptures. So like 2nd Ezra say, everything has gotten smaller. Man has gotten smaller. Beast has gotten smaller, man. Indian legends and carvings also in the same section indicate the existence of such a race. So there we go. There's the Megalodon. It got smaller. Like the dude said in the beginning of the clip, they didn't go extinct. Everything has shrunken, man. All right. Oh yeah, I did have this up. The largest lion from 1620. This said this thing weighed about 675 pounds. Which one I pull up? It said lions was 11 feet tall. No, 11 feet long. 11 feet long. And then there was one that showed how, you know what? Let me look at it on my history on my phone so I can pull it up. Esau knows these things, man. But you know what they teach you? Because growing up, I remember in junior high, elementary school for sure, before high school, they teach you that humans are taller now than they were back then. Everything this devil teaches contrary to the Lord, man. Let's see if they still push that narrative. Look at this. Humans have not evolved to be taller. So it says not evolution. But they say what? While the average adult height has indeed increased in many countries over the last few hundred years, this increase was not caused by evolution. This is crazy. Additionally, the average height gain over the last few hundred years has not been very large. They're saying we're getting taller. People today are taller on average than their ancestors 100 years ago. This is true for every country in the world. How do you test this shit, man? This is madness, man. So let me look for this though. This man is the fucking devil, and this only proves the scriptures. Hopefully I can find it. This Daniel 7:25. He shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall war at the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the time and times, and the dividing of time. So this man is just contrary to the Lord, man. Everything he teaches is opposite of the Most High. Period. So, let's see. Is this the one? Man, I want to find it. Esau was a bitch, bro. They talk about these massive lions that's been found in around recently, last 100 years or so. But they dug up some bones of lions in Ethiopia, Kenya. Oh, let me see. In Kenya, close to Mount Kenya, the amazing male African lion measured 11 feet in length and weighed 600 pounds. So that's a long lion. But I also saw well, they dug up skeletons. They said it was the size of a human. Dang. This is good enough, man. It proves the point. I'll have to go through these links to find out. Oh, it was this. So it was right there. Were lions bigger in the past? Scientists in Kenya have found fossils, Salakia, have found fossil evidence that lions were once much more terrifying than they are today. Skull remains have revealed that lions which reside in East Africa, and here's the bullshit, because Esau has to he's the serpent. Revelation 12. The old devil called the serpent was talking about the Romans. Revelation 12 is about the Romans. Who's ruling today? Same people, the Romans. They're the serpent from the garden. Truth mixed with lies. 200,000 years ago. Madness. Were enormous creatures that stood as tall as humans. So imagine the height, not the length. We see 11 foot long lions popping up in recent times. All right? The height of a lion. Why is on all four paws being as tall as Shaq? Sheesh. Being as tall, even as tall as Kevin Hart. That's a tall lion. To compare to what we used to see at the zoo, that's tall. Not standing on his back legs. This is talking about why it's on all four paws, man. Man. So everything has shrunken. Hey, look. This is Numbers 13 and 23. And they came unto the brook of Eshcol and cut down from this a branch with one cluster of grapes. And they buried between two upon the staff, and they brought of the pomegranates of the figs. The place was called the brook Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes which the children of Israel cut down from this. So it took 2 men to carry one cluster of grapes on the staff, man. Even the grapes were huge. Everything is much smaller now. All right, it says, and this is the land. It says these are weaker faith. Nevertheless, the people be strong and that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak. And for Anak, Numbers 13:33, and there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak. So that was a land that belonged to giants. And it took 2 Israelites to carry a cluster of grapes, which come from the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, so we weren't in their sight. We read this one earlier. So there you go. I just want the precept to show why we mention it or not, that they were giants, man. So everything is shrunk. That would include your dinosaurs. And Esau has took this term dinosaur and made it to mean old creatures that no longer exist. When that's not what the word dinosaur goes to, man. This is just more lies being compiled upon lies. When this term, which was in like the 1800s, came about, the dude that came with this term got, man, let me see. What was his nigga name? What was the last thing I went to on this phone? I went to Lions first. Hold on. Here, this should do. Richard Owen. That's the nigga name. Whatever. It's off my screen. Okay, we just gotta just read it like this. They only briefly touch on that, right? But Richard Owen is part of a 200-year anniversary where I celebrate significant events that have taken place since 2017. This week it is 1841, and Richard Owen coins the word dinosaur. Richard coined the word dinosaur, originally dinosauria, in 1841, and it originates from 2 Greek words, dinos, terrible, powerful, wondrous, and saurus, which means lizard. Before 1841, we think people just called them dragons, which we have the example of Leviathan in the scriptures, and he's referred to as a dragon. Born in Lancaster in 1804, Richard Owen began his professional life, medicine, local surgeon, blah. 37, Owen became a Hunterian lecturer. These lectures became popular very quickly amongst attendees were members of the royal family. Even Charles Darwin attended when he returned from his excursions. A really interesting fact about Owen is that he is responsible for the Natural History Museum. Blah, blah, blah. Dinosauria. Owen worked as a taxonomist for London Zoo, giving him a wealth of experience examining exotic animals. Other scientists would bring him fossils they had uncovered, and most famously, he was brought reptile-like fossil bones from southern England. He concluded that these bones were in fact not lizards, but displayed a distinct tribe of suborder or saurian reptiles, which, I mean, it's still a lizard, it's a reptile, it's some type of, it's the same thing. And the name proves it because he still called it Dinosauria, which means great, terrible lizard. Okay? Yes, the lizards were huge too. We just read about giants, huge grapes, creatures, humans, everything has shrunk in size. That would include lizards. Okay? Who knows how big a goddamn Komodo dragon looked back then? Yeah, and again, this is during the time of Darwinism, man. So there's a lot of bullshit and lies that's taught now that was coming up. Because he spoke against Darwin, man. Um, he said Darwin was wrong about humans evolving from apes because they don't have similar parts of the brain. All right. So Esau was coming up with shit, man. Esau was coming up with shit. Let me pull up some. Who knows how tall these things got? And let's not forget, Leviathans exist right now, and it's not just one Leviathan. There is male and female. Biggest dragon. I was thinking of what I read and I just typed the wrong thing. Biggest reptile. Saltwater crocodiles are the largest croc species in the world. 23 feet long. Saltwater crocs, sea turtles, pythons, Komodo dragons. What is this one? Oh, okay. Tallest lizard. I want to see how tall they can be, not length. Nevertheless, it's all these damn lizards on the earth, man. These things were huge back then. We still have anacondas and shit too. Now, if there's a kind that's no longer around now because the earth is so fucked up, Lord knows. All right, but we do know is dinosaurs still exist. Okay? Leviathan still exist. These things still exist. And then you got Esau that made the term generic, so they call birds dinosaurs and everything too. Look at this motherfucking thing, man. This thing looks crazy. So this Esau finds skeletons of different stuff that's around now when they can't piece together because it's not all one. Oh, that's another thing. How many 100% complete dinosaur skeletons have been found? If I forget. Then we can move on to Tithes. I just want to hit Dino Wars. And I saw this on when I first heard of the cope. I put Dino scope. When I first heard about this, I was watching a documentary years ago. And these two niggas, man, they basically they were in competition to become the first, damn, what's the word? Oh, man. There's a department for it in the government, and that's what they were fighting for. Not paleontologists. Let me just type in Edward Cope. Paleontologists. That's the word. Right. They were both fighting to become the first. Yeah, so Marsh ended up winning. But what's the department called? Anyway, they wanted to become the first paleontologist for the U.S. government, right? So we have they call it the Cope and Marsh Dino Wars or Cope and Marsh Bone Wars. Either way, they were finding these bones. All right, they're paleontologists, so they were finding these bones and piecing them together. And they even mentioned that mistakes like this happen. Cope mistakenly reversed the vertebrae, positioned the skull to the throne part. And this is bullshit, man. They were just putting it together how they saw fit. Now let's read this. How many 100% complete dinosaur skeletons have been found? Paleontologists have never found a complete dinosaur skeleton. Often part of the skeleton is missing either because the bones are washed away during deposition or because changing the earth, whatever. All right? So they haven't found these pieces put together. Esau's putting shit together how they see fit. And they name what they want to name them, man. All right? What did I first search? They came up with all type of stuff now, man. So these bones were not preserved. Dang. I know this isn't what I put, but yeah. So it changes over time. Parker's reconstructions were initially believed to be accurate, but as our scientific knowledge of the biology, morphology, behavior has increased, their perceived appearance has changed. Paleo art images of dinosaurs are only ever as accurate as the fossil evidence available. So if they haven't found completed fossils, they're just putting shit together, man. All right? And that was the point. So could there be other reptile species that we haven't seen? Of course, Esau has discovered the whole damn planet. What we do know, dinosaurs are still here and present. They've gotten smaller, man. So to hell with Esau, man. Now, we already went in for an hour. I do want to touch on this on tithes through the spirit. Tithes and alms. Because granted, we in poverty, so let's do tithes and alms, man. And let's start with this first. It's a rock. I just want to Tobit too. Lord, we'll have both. This is a rock 29. This is the importance of alms, man. For one, it shows appreciation. Let me get that. It's on YouTube. These niggas, man. These are some niggas, man. It's just some dudes that entertain. And they reached they broke a Twitch donation record. These people watch them stream and do whatever they do, and they donate because they appreciate it. That's it. Well, I believe the record was like 16,000 or something.
Boom!
Whatever. It don't matter. Fuck that. But the point is, how are these are niggas in the world that's paying these dudes, that's giving them support. How are they getting more support than not just the apostles? Because I've noticed when something come up when it's the apostles, Jake is quick. But the elders in your camp as well, the men around you, man. These are the men that's been hand-on with us. These are the men that dealt with us and teach us, taught us and teach us daily hands-on. How can we not have some form of appreciation, man? These are our spiritual fathers. And so Rocktail, now of course, it's a balanced everything, you know, we're in a lower state. All right, that's understood. All right, some are lower than others, some are higher than others. Okay? Nevertheless, we got to be giving alms. Point blank, period, man. It's simply appreciation. Hey, this is 1 Corinthians 9. And I'm gonna start at the top. Am I not an apostle? Am I not free? Have I not seen Yahushua Mashiach our Lord? Are not ye my work in the Lord? And that goes, of course, like Paul even put it. We got the apostles. But he's like, look, am I not also sent? Am I not teaching? Are you not my work in the Lord? Did not the Lord use me to teach you, specifically teach you, man? I use the example. Here in Chicago, we got, of course, Elder Malcolm, Elder Uriah. These are the men that kicked it off and labored with us. Not even just them. You know, Elder Karab, because, he's more of a silent brother here, but he was around from the beginning. And there's other bishops, but I'm just naming those specifically, man. These are men that have labored with us, man. If I be not an apostle unto others, yet doubtless I am to you. He like, look, I might ain't teach these other men over here. I probably want hands-on with them, but doubtless I am to you. I dealt with you personally. For the seal of mine apostleship are ye in the Lord. All right? And hey, just like Paul is getting on the Corinthians specifically, man, I'm going to say it because this is something based off of something we're dealing with in Chicago. I'm going to fucking say it, man. These men have been laboring with us. It shouldn't be no big deal, man. If you don't got it, you don't got it. Sometimes sacrifice is required. But when we do got it, we definitely got to be showing that appreciation, man. My answer to them that do examine me is this. Have we not power to eat and to drink? Have we not power to lead about a sister, a wife, as well as other apostles? And as the brethren of the Lord and Cephas? Or I only and Barnabas, have not we power to forbear working? Who goeth to warfare any time at his own charges? Who planted the vineyard? So is it just the top apostles that's doing these things? The elders of our camps are doing these things, man. And the law, there's the tithe system. It wasn't just to the priest. It was 3 parts to it. The priest, then you tithe the Levites in your land, and also the poor and strangers in your land. Tithes wasn't just about, see, you know what it is? Jake coming to this thing and still sour with the damn church. Well, this ain't that. This is part of our welfare system of the nation. For one, the priest, the main priest, in this case, we'll say elders, the apostles, elders, like that. They gave their life over to do this work. All right? They gave their life over to do this work. So what do they need from us? Carnal things, help, assistance. Just as the priest needed it. This is the duty. All right? Then you had, of course, it said, don't forget the strangers in your land. So we got to have alms amongst each other. It shit happens. Now, as a balance, because Sirach, it goes into it. I'll use this tab. Guess I'll search on the phone first. How is it worded? Fuck, I hate this flesh, man. Mm. $29.99. I gotta remember that. There's the 12th chapter. Fuck. It talks about helping, but so you don't fall into the same. Let me type in same. Ah, 29:20. That's the balance to it. So rock 29:20. What was the other one I just said I want to remember? Just want to get these precepts on deck. Y'all know how it go, man. Oh, same chapter. 29:9. Okay, so what was I just reading at? Back in 1 Corinthians 9:6. Or I only and Barnabas have not we power to forbear working? Who goeth to warfare any time at his own charges? Who planted the vineyard, eating not the fruit thereof? Who feedeth the flock, eating not of the milk of the flock? This is truly a labor, man. All things, it costs to get to camp. All right? It costs to have equipment to do videos. It costs to get the Elder Malcolm gets books that cost bread. That shit costs. And he get those books. And this is just an example, man. He gets those books and he shares the information and links them with the scriptures with us, man. Edifying the body. If this is war, who goes to war according to their own money? Who plants a vineyard and I eat the fruit of it? Like, who does that, man? If you got a flock, you like it says, you eat of the milk of the flock. All right? So the tithes and the alms amongst each camp, you know, we got to be on our square, man. And of course, we ain't fucking hell together. But we still got to do what we can. And the Lord loves a cheerful giver, too. So, if it ain't on your spirit, it ain't on your spirit. That's between, you know, each individual and the Lord. But we got to show that appreciation, man. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. You know? Say I these things as a man, or say have not the law the same also? For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that treadeth out the corn. Doth the Most High take care for oxen? Think the Lord was worried about the ox? Or saith he it altogether for our sakes? For our sakes, no doubt, this is written, that he that ploweth should plow in hope, and that he that threshed in hope should be partaker of his hope. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things? These men have sacrificed time and everything for us. Is it great that we gave them a few bucks, man? But tithes and alms in the ancient world was food sustenance, not money. That's the Facebook social media argument. Niggas learning it's like get mad at the church and think you ain't supposed. Tithes don't exist no more. Alms don't exist no more because they was giving fruit, etc. Right? But let's see. End of the day, it's about the increase. If we had farms and land at that time, but it's about the increase. This is Deuteronomy 14. Let's start here. 22. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed that the field bringeth forth year by year. So yeah, it was seed, right? And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy power in the place which you shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear Yahweh thy power always. So even with the tithes, it was meant to help out, right? But also, we was told to enjoy these things as well. America put us in a spirit of being so fucking wound up tight. You don't even enjoy your increase. And Sirach tells you let eat and drink with the righteous man. Enjoy your increase. Enjoy it with your brothers. It be like that. That's what it should be, man. It's all love. And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or the place too far from thee, which Yahweh thy power shall choose, set his name there, when Yahweh thy power hath blessed thee, then shalt thou turn it into money. So those things can be traded in for money, right? And bind up the money in thy hand, and shall go into the place which Yahweh thy power shall choose. And thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatsoever thy soul desireth. And thou shalt eat there before Yahweh thy power, and thou shalt rejoice, thou and thine household. For us. And the Levite that is within thy gates, thou shalt not forsake him, for he hath no part nor inheritance with thee. So we got to help them out that's around us. So let's call the trip to Jerusalem is, of course, helping out the apostles. It's going to the actual priesthood. But we can't forget about the Levites in our gates, our elders, man, that's here, that's been hands-on, like we was reading in that Corinthians. At the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thine increase the same year, and shall lay it up within thy gates. All the tithes thy increase. Whatever your labor is, whatever you getting and growing and increasing in, shows a tithe, man. And shall lay it up within thy gates. And the Levites, because they have no part nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger and the fatherless and the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied. That Yahweh thy power may bless thee in all the work of thine hand which thou doest. So paying tithes not only is brotherly love, which the whole law was summed up in brotherly love, we got 3 levels to it. The actual priest that's in Jerusalem, the Levites, the other, the priests in our area. All right. And then the poor. It's 10%. It's literally 10%. We're going to spend 10% on folly easily. Way more than that. And then there's a blessing that comes with doing it. There's a blessing that comes with doing what we're supposed to do anyway. The Lord still bless. This is the word for tithe. I hate that. I clicked the wrong thing. Got to click right here. Tithe, 10th part. Tithe, payment of a 10th part. Tithe simply means 10th. All right. And on top of that, we have alms, which is the same thing. Free will offering, if you would call it. It still comes with a blessing. There is no wrongdoing. What does it say? Against such. Give me 1 second. All right, Salaki, I'm back. Here we go. Romans 13:8. Oh no man anything but what? But to love one another, for he that loveth another hath no, this ain't it. It says against there is no such law. Let me see. Fuck. The flesh is the weakest thing on earth. This is good though. Oh no man anything but to love another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. So that sums the law up, man. That's good enough. Back to the point. Sirach 29:9. Help the poor. The water. That is exactly it. Dang, man. Call all me how about Shimmy how shy. Hey, 2 is better than 1. For real, man. 2 is better than 1. How can 1 stand when he falls? Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, which we just read. That's the filling of the law. Joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. All right. So there's no law against just being brotherly, man, and showing that love. In fact, the summary of the law is brotherly love. All right. Can't go wrong with doing it. Sirach 29:9. Help the poor for the commandment's sake, and turn him not away because of his poverty. Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under a stone to be lost. Lay up thy treasure. So ain't nothing wrong with having a savings, obviously. Ain't nothing. We should budget. We should put bread to the side because shit happens in America. Especially if you got a whip, got a crib, got a wife, got kids, you know. However, sometimes we got to sacrifice. Here's a scripture that cuts me all the time. This cuts me, man, because I try to budget and do certain shit, Well, this cuts me, man. That's not it. Man, you bitch. Luke 21. Luke 21:1. He looked up and saw the rich men casting their gifts into the treasury. Oh, here we go. This is an example of the scriptures. Tithes and all that was food and grain, not money. And he saw also a certain poor widow casting thither 2 mites. And he said, of a truth, I say unto you that this poor widow had cast them more than they all. All these have of their abundance cast into the offerings of the Most High. But she of her penury has cast in all the living that she had. Here's the word for penury.
Strong's G 5303. Hysterima. Hysterima.
All right. Deficiency, that which is lacking. In reference to property and resources, poverty, want, destitution. Okay? How do I close this? There we go. But she of her poverty had cast in all the living that she had. All right? So that's a real sacrifice, man. She didn't have much. She didn't have nothing really. And she still gave in 2 mites. All right? How much more if you can afford it? Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under stone to be lost. Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. So a true treasure is storing up righteousness. Here, hey, shut up alms in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from all affliction. Showing that love, is a true treasure. It shall fight for thee against thy enemies, better than a mighty shield and a strong spear. An honest man is surety for his neighbor, but he that is impudent forsake him. Forget not the friendship of thy surety, for he hath given his life for thee. Let's go down. 20. Help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou thyself fall not in the same. So it's a balance to it, man. All right? Don't put yourself in the hole. Well, now you also need help. Now, that's a balance to that, too. Because sometimes you can put yourself in a hole and you can get out of it quicker than the next man. But the point is, don't shoot your foot off saving somebody else. All right? Just putting a balance there. But you can, whatever you can give, give. As the scriptures say, don't be ashamed of the little, man. Is this it? I think it's another one. I don't think this is the right one. Oh, is this one? I thought I was thinking of a scripture that's maybe I'm putting 2 scriptures together by not being ashamed to give a little or a lot. All right. But whatever you can, that's what you can do, man. It's point blank period. So it's just Tobit. And sometimes a lot's required. Sometimes a little's required. But man, we got each other. That's part of the laws. Being there for one another. That's brotherly love. I'm going to wrap this up. This is Tobit 12 and 9. For alms doth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sins. This goes right back to Deuteronomy 14. The blessing that came with paying tithes, man. For doing what we supposed to do, for showing that love, it says that Yahweh thy power may bless thee in all the work of thy hand which thou doest. There's a real blessing for doing something as simple as having brotherly love, man. And the ultimate blessing, what we read in Sirach, them alms is a tower against death. Same thing here. Tobit 12 and 9. For alms doth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin. Those that exercise alms in righteousness shall be filled with life. All right? And of course, one level of alms is doing this work, looking out for the flock. But also alms is, and be monetary, man. And especially if you got it. That's in 1 John. Oh, Rapaya, man, you a lifesaver, brother. That's the exact scripture I was thinking about. You've been on my brother. Now I'm trying to find another person. I'm glad you found that. 1 John 3. That's it. This is 1 John 3 and 17. But whoso hath this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of the Most High in him? And that's plain. If we see our brother needs carnal things, and we have the ability to help, there's only love if we help. That's love, man. And there's a blessing that comes with that. Like, for one, off the strength of love alone. But then the Lord said there's a blessing that comes with it, man. So how can we not give the tithes, the alms? All right? The brother posted it, Tobit 4 and 8. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. You got a lot, give accordingly. If thou have but little, be not afraid to give according to that little. If you got a little, give accordingly. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity. All right, that's that building that treasure up, man. That's increasing our storehouse. Because the alms do deliver from death, and suffereth not to come into darkness. For alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High. So there you go, man. I ain't gonna beat a dead horse, and there's plenty more scriptures on it, man. But out of appreciation of the strength of that for our elders, we should be more willing to look out. Off the strength of the love we got for our brothers, we should be willing to look out. And then also, it's a commandment, and it's a blessing that comes with it. So hopefully it's edifying. All praises, honor, glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Bahasham HaKakodash. Double honors to the apostle, Great Millstone. And South Asian brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with